For this tutorial you're going to need a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle to weave in your ends, a 6mm crochet hook, and some worsted or aran weight yarn. Now this shawl gives me, or scarf, depending on what you want to do, gives me the opportunity to review this lavender ombre yarn that my hubby picked up in Aldi's. The fabric, the price is fantastic and it feels great. It looks like a carrot cake. It feels like a carrot cake, and I'm really quite impressed. It says here to use a 5mm crochet hook, but I'm going to use, or knitting needles, but I'm going to use a 6 for this scarf or shawl. It is an acrylic wool blend, 80% acrylic, 20% wool, and there are 350 meters in here. This is a 200-gram one, so I'm really quite excited to have a go at this. I'm not usually very good at pulling. See, I just pull everything out the middle. Oh, look at that. A little dark splodge right in the middle there. Oh, I always like the unexpected that you sometimes get with these sort of things. I'm going to put it to the side. Hopefully you can't actually see that because you don't want it in shot really. But it doesn't matter. Now this, oh, this is lovely. That's created like a speckle. I didn't expect that. Can you see that? There's like some purple speckles in there, and that's all part of the dyeing process. When they put it on the, there is a technical word and it escapes my brain right now. When they wind the wool onto the thingy that goes into the vat that they dye it on, sometimes it can come up on the inside, and then that's how you get some of these speckles on the very, very inside of an ombre or a self-striping yarn. So I'm I love things like that. I really do love unexpected things in my yarn, so I'm happy about that. So this shawl is a very, very simple one. It involves US terminology, double crochets. It involves slip chain stitches, excuse me. I'm having a bit of a brain moment there. And it is very, very simple, and it grows really, really quick, but it looks so pretty when it is finished. Now, you do not have to use a whole cake on this. You can use half of one if that's all you've got left. In fact, it can be a small scarf or it can be a great big shawl. You can use 2 cakes if you want to join them together and have a great big shawl. It is entirely up to you. Because it is a repeating pattern, you can stop when you are happy with the size. Okay, so we start with our slip knot, and we're going to chain 4. Then we're going to go back into the first loop that we made of the chain, pull up a loop, and then pull through the one on the hook. Let me do that again. That's a slip stitch. We've got one on our hook. We go to the first of our chain, pull up a loop, and pull through the one on our hook. That creates a little hole there. Okay, so now we need to chain 2, and we need to do 3 double crochets into this ring, into the center there. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Now we need to chain 2 and do 3 more double crochets into the center. And there's the first round. So now we chain 2 and we turn. Now the chain 2 does not count as a stitch, and in every first and last stitch of the round we are going to put 3 double crochets. So we yarn over and we go into that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we put 2 more into there. That's 3. All right, now we're going to double crochet in the next one, double crochet into the next one, and then we've reached our chain 2 space. Now this is where we're going to create our first corner, and it's going to be the recipe for every corner all the way through the shawl. It's going to be a 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So we put 2 double crochets in first, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. And as you can see, it's created a point there, and you can see we've also already turned the corner. We want a double crochet into the next one, and into the next stitch, mimicking what we did exactly on the other side there, until we come to this last stitch here where we want 3 double crochets into this last stitch. So that's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. Okay, so there we've got a gorgeous little triangular point already. So let's move on to the next round. We're going to chain 2 and turn our work. As always, we want to put 3 double crochets into the first stitch. And 3. Now this time we're going to create one of our repeatable rows, just like the double crochet into every stitch row, which is also repeatable. We're going to do some more now. This time we chain 1 and skip 1. Chain 1, skip 1, and go into the next. So we're not this one, the next one, and do a double crochet. Oops, let's do that again. There we go. Then we chain 1, skip 1, and go into the next and create a double crochet. Then we chain 1, skip 1, and go into the next with a double crochet, and that leads us again to the corner point. And if you remember, to create a corner we double crochet twice, 1, 2, we chain 2 for the corner, and we do 2 more double crochets, creating that lovely point and helping us to turn the corner. Now we need to mimic the other side exactly so it doesn't look lopsided. So we did 1 double crochet there, and that's exactly what we'll do in the next stitch. We do 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and go into the next. Chain 1, skip 1, and go into the next. Chain 1, skip 1, and go into this last one here. Oh, we've got a nice dark lavender splodge happening. I quite like it when it does the unexpected. Now we're into this last stitch, and as you remember, 1 is not sufficient. We need to put 3 in there, so we need to add 2 more to make our corner, and that helps give it the shape, and it also gives it this lovely, it's not quite forming yet, but it gives it a slight bend upwards, which is really nice. It lends it to, if you want to wear it sort of European style with the point at the front and wrap it round so the ends drape down the front of you, around your neck. That's great if you want to do it that way, and it also means that it's going to hug your neck if you want to wear it from round the back, which is great when it's really cold. Okay, so now we are going to chain 2 and turn again. Now we need 3 double crochets in this corner. 1, 2, and 3. And now we need our repetition of our divider. Well, that's 1 double crochet into every stitch until we reach the corner, which is the point. Okay, now what do we do when we get to these chain spaces? Well, we just go underneath. We just go into the space. It's a little easier than trying to poke in, but if you want to and you think it looks better that way, then poke into the stitch. Let me just show you. If you want to go in, right in there, that's fine, but I quite like to go into the space and pull up a loop and make my double crochet. And as you can see, as we go along, we're gaining more and more stitches, and the pattern is emerging, which is gorgeous. It's quite nice. It's a nice solid and lacy at the same time pattern. I quite like this very much. Alright, so now we have reached the corner, and if you remember how we make a corner, it is a 2 double crochets into the space, chain 2, and 2 double crochets into the corner. And there you have it. Now we're going to do 1 double crochet in every stitch until we reach the end. There we go. I love working with these cakes because you never know how the colours are going to play out as you make them, and I think it's really nice. You know, every time you make one, they're always different because of how they're wound in the factory. And then into this last one, if you remember, we do 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, lovely. All right, so if we lay this out, you can start to see how we're going. We've got one more pattern to do, pattern row to do before you can just repeat and repeat and repeat to your happiest size. Okay, so we chain 2 and turn our work. We do 3 double crochets in that first stitch. I do love how soft this wool blend is. That's 2 and 3. Okay, So this is another pattern row. So we chain 1, and we're going to, so we've got 3 in the first one, we've chained 1, skip 1, and we're going to do 3 double crochets from here. So 1 in that stitch, 1 in the next stitch, and 1 in the following stitch. Chain 1, skip 1, then double crochet, double crochet, and double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, then double crochet into the next stitch and the next and the next. Chain 1, skip 1, then we double crochet there. Now it's going to look like a triple because we're going to make a corner, which is a 2 double crochets followed by a chain 2, which will then put them together, making them look like they are one of our triples there. So we're in the corner and we're done 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets, which turns the corner and takes us up to the other side. Now, in order to mimic this row, we need to go along here in exactly the same manner. So the next one is a double crochet. Oh, I need to give that a little tug. There we go. Chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet into the next, into the next, and into the next. Then chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet into the next 3 stitches. We carry on all the way, chain 1, skip 1, until we reach the end here. Oop. 3. Chain 1, skip 1, and this puts us right on the last one where we put 3 more. So let's lay that out nicely. Oops, get a bit more yarn there. So as you can see, you've already got that pattern forming already, and it's really nice, it's lacy, it's airy, it's really pretty, and you can see how that's going to grow from there. Okay, let me just have another quick look at my pattern. All right, we're going to chain 1 for the next row. Chain 2 for the next row, turn round and put 3 double crochets into our first. Oh, my pattern just fell over. Just give me a second, I'll just prop that back up. I've got them propped up, I've got it propped up on some yarn and I don't think it likes it. There we are. Okay, so now as you can guess, this is going to be a row of double crochet in each stitch around until we get to the corner, and then all the way back until we get to the last stitch at this end. So yarn over and go in and make our double crochets. So that is basically it for the repeats. Remember to do 3 double crochets I need to get some yarn, excuse me. I need 3 double crochets in the first and last stitch of each row, and then you need, for a corner, it's 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets. And of course you can rewind this video and do it again from the beginning. Just go through the pattern until you can remember it, or you could jot it down that it's 3 double crochets in the corner, and then at the either end is 3 double crochets in that last stitch, and then it is 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. I'm having trouble pulling the yarn out of the center of this thing. Let's get a bit. That's for the corner, and then you go all the way along. Now, as you can also see, if you pause and take a look at the pattern to see which stitch that you need to do next, or which repetition that you need to do next, that's quite easy. Then I'm chaining 2 and doing 2 more double crochets in the center there. That's it. That's my... So if you take a look that you want to do a row of double crochet all along, then you want to do your 3, skip 1, double crochet, skip 1, double crochet, skip 1, double crochet until you get to your corner, and then do the same. Make sure that each corner, if you end on a double crochet, which you will, you'll end on a double crochet, so there'll be 3 there. Make sure that it's a double crochet on the other side as well to give it that symmetry. Otherwise it's going to be obvious that the pattern hasn't gone quite to plan, but it's a basic repetition. So I'm going to finish this row and I'm going to meet you at the other end. So there I am at the end, and I've just realised that this would make a really cute little scarfie for a dog. Actually, that would look so cute, wouldn't it? Really cute. So, you know, like I said, you can repeat this as many times as you want, or as few times as you want. It's completely up to you. And as you can see the nice arch is starting there. So they are repetitions of rows that are 1 single crochet, double crochet, beg your pardon, all the way to the corner, which is a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and then all the way along until it's the 3 at the end. Now the next row is a double crochet, skip 1, double crochet, skip 1, repeat. The row after that is a double crochet, repeat. The row after that is a 3 double crochet, skip 1, 3 double crochet, skip 1, 3 double crochet, skip 1, repeat. And then the next row is a double crochet in every stitch, repeat. Okay, so it's punctuated like that, and you can always go, right, I've just done this row, so what's my next one? Well, if I go back 1, I've done a 3, so my next one is a double crochet, skip, double crochet, skip, double crochet, skip. So that's the next row that I'm going to do. So I'm going to keep going until I am happy that it is the size that I want. Now I'm tempted to do the entire cake. So that's 350 meters, that's 200 grams worth of scarf, but I might not. We will see when I get to the end, so I'll see you then. So here we are, I have finally finished. I'm just going to fasten off, pull that through so I can tuck that in later. Now this is all I've got left. It's not a great deal. It might be enough to make some teeny weeny tassels along the bottom, but I'm not sure because I'm not a great big fan of tassels. So that might be something I do later. Now what I have done, if you can see that, is I've done a really nice little single crochet edging all the way around. I've just got to tuck in my tails, if I can find it here now. There we are. I've got the tail from the beginning that I've got to tuck in, and then I've got the tail from the end, from the edging, the single crochet edging. So let me grab my tape measure and let you know what this worked out at, because you won't be able to see it because I can't lift up my camera anymore. But look how gorgeous that is. I love how the colours have worked out. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's not a big one. I've only used one cake, and I don't know if you can see it, but the yarn actually has a very gentle sheen to it. It's actually been really nice to work with. Because it's wool, I don't think it's going to undo, you know, because it's going to catch on itself. But I have no intention of undoing it anyway. I love how this has worked out. So if you remember, we have had the plain double crochet rows, then we have had the double crochet skip one rows, then we had the plain double crochet, then the 3 double crochets, skip one, 3 double crochet, skip one, and then the plain rows all the way through. And this has worked out really, really well. So let me just see what I've got. So from the tip all the way down, slide, 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 all the way to the tip there is 62 and a bit, let's say 63 centimeters, which if I flip it over is almost 25 inches. Okay, almost 25 inches from the middle down to the longest point. And then let me do from corner to corner now, which is going to be way longer, and my tape measure only has 60 inches and 150 meters. I don't think it's that long. So let me start at my corner here without stretching it. On the inches side, this is quite rough measurement, so forgive me if it's not entirely right. So it's working out at 48.5, something like that, 48.5 inches, and put that into metric, that's 123 centimeters. Okay, so that's really nice. I love the way the colors have come. It's a self-striping yarn, but it hasn't, because this is not a scarf, it's not the pattern on the inside, it has actually changed color pretty well. If you can see there, there's a color change. It's actually had a bit of a splodge there with the color change. Not too bad. It's only when it's gone from light to dark that it's more pronounced. But to be quite honest, I'm going to wear this like a cowl type scarf, and I'm not going to notice the colour changes very well. I mean, they look really pronounced on the camera, but actually with the naked eye they're not that strong at all. And I just think it's gorgeous. Really gorgeous. But I'm really pleased with this. I hope yours has turned out really well. It's been quite an easy stitch. We've just got double crochets and chains really to create this really nice pattern. It's also got these ridges as well, which gives it that great texture, and the self color changing yarn has enhanced that as well. So overall, I'm really pleased. I hope you enjoy your scarf or your shawl if you make it larger. And thanks for joining me for this tutorial. So I'll just take a second to ask you to subscribe to the channel if you like this, and to click the bell, and you'll get updates every time I put up a video for you. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like it too. Thanks a lot, and take care. Happy crocheting.